morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Susan Marco, clinical hypnotist, mindset mentor, and welcome to the Trance Talks podcast, where I have conversations with practitioners across many alternative modalities and disciplines. Uh, it's my goal to introduce you to all of the beautiful people that I've had the great grace to get to know over these years in my life and in my practice. So today I am so excited. I'm actually getting the chills just thinking about this conversation. Today I'm sitting here with Camille Miller, who I met several years ago through an organization that she runs for entrepreneurs. And it is called the Natural Life Business Partnership. Sorry, Camille, Natural Life Business Partnership. And, I've gotten so much out of that organization. So I want to make sure I get that plug in there for you, Camille, because what you do for entrepreneurs is above and beyond and really valuable. But I want to introduce Camille because this is really about you and what you do in the world. And so Camille is a transformational leader and a celebrated influencer, really, in the field of entrepreneurship. She helps entrepreneurs overcome resistance and provides the platforms to align with your soul, your work, and to help you achieve purpose beyond profit. Isn't that lovely? Purpose beyond profit. So what Camille does is she combines her business strategies, her years of knowledge and understanding about business and her own experiences, along with a modality called PSYCH-K. And so I wanted to give her an opportunity. I want you to have an opportunity, Camille, to talk about PSYCH-K. What is it? How is it utilized? And why would somebody come to you for that?
Yeah, thank you, Susan, and thanks for having me on this great program. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So PSYCH-K, there's probably not a lot of practitioners there are in the country, but there are getting to be more and more of them. I got trained in 2019. And that's a whole story on its own, how that ended up in my lap. But PSYCH-K itself, to answer your question, is really a mindset modality. It's a modality where we go into your subconscious and change some of those limiting beliefs. So it's actually a cellular change in your body so you can no longer tap into whatever that fear was or whatever that block was. And it literally changes you from that moment forward. And it's not like talk therapy where you have to tell me all of your problems. It's really, it works more on a subconscious level, but with what we call a goal statement. So like, I am successful, or I am this. A lot of people use as affirmations. But what affirmations do is sometimes as people are saying affirmations, their body is going, no, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. So sometimes they can have the reverse effect if your body isn't in tune with what you are saying. So PSYCH-K aligns all of that. And it's a modality that's backed in the science of Bruce Lipton. He's a big proponent of this. And I had the joy and luck, I guess, of meeting with Bruce Lipton when I was first training in this. It is the only modality I'm trained in, but I found it so dovetailed beautifully with my strategy work and working with entrepreneurs, because so often what they're stuck in is money, self-worth is probably the biggest one. As people grow, it's imposter syndrome. It's I'm not good enough. People won't buy my services. Oh, you can't build a business that way because society said so. And PSYCH-K helps very quickly bring people to their potential by getting rid of those limiting beliefs so we can really work on the strategy and what they need to do.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And I resonate with all of it. But for me, just what really kind of pinged for me is that embodiment piece.
Mm-hmm.
And how, if you don't really have that embodiment, if you don't feel it or believe it in your body, then
Yes.
you may not get too far.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Success is really a belief system,
Yeah.
right? It's not what you do as much as who do you believe you are. And if you don't believe you are that person, whatever that is, you can never get there
Yeah.
because you don't believe it. Why would anyone else believe it?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So your belief system is so wrapped up in everything that we do, right? I say we build wealth really in all areas of life. But when I work with entrepreneurs, and now I'm starting to actually work with corporate executives that are transitioning or are meant for bigger things, that are stuck in this, like, I'm really successful in this area of my life, but I'm so lacking in this other area of my life. And starting to incorporate that because it's all belief system. It's all what we are presenting for ourselves, because I believe that we're unlimited, but a lot of other people don't believe they're unlimited.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting to me that, that what we believe and how we hold those beliefs 100%. How many times, have you listened to a person give a presentation or you're talking with someone about what they do and you have this sort of underlying feeling or sense that they don't really believe it,
Yes.
right? So I love that. How does it work actually when you work with somebody?
PSYCH-K.
Yeah.
So they're called balances. That's what they're called in PSYCH-K. But we find um, the thing that is blocking their belief is usually done just by talking. So sometimes I can just ask about business or tell me more about that. And they're using the words that are blocking them without knowing. And I actually just sit there and write them down. Like, this is what you said. I'd really love to test this on you. And it's done through muscle testing. Do you actually believe what you just told me? Right. And if people are using affirmations for a long time, I usually test those as well. Right. So if I'm with you, then I'm using muscle testing. Some people can self-test by using fingers. Some people do it with me if we're doing it online.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I was with you, though, I do it through your arm by muscle testing, if you believe or don't believe, because your body will resist if you believe it, and it will go weak if you don't believe it, because you're lying to yourself and your muscles can't lie. And then if we find out that it's not true for you, we balance for that, right? So we are taking your left hemisphere and your right hemisphere and we're joining them together because there's usually a disconnect, and we're putting you in what we're calling a whole body state. So how is your body starting to believe this statement? And we go through a balance to get your body in congruence with your mind. And it's usually done pretty quickly. And there's all different balances depending on where the piece is.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm doing it online like this, which is, I would say, for the last 2.5, 3 years, the only way that I've done it is online. And I find it works nicely because people are in their own space. They're very comfortable where they are. And I have clients all over the world. Right. So if I'm doing this, then I actually use a pendulum. So people have to be very open to the idea that I'm going into their energy. I'm using their pendulum and I'm really reading what they're thinking and feeling. If they self-test, they can self-test along with me. Many people do. We always get the same answer.
Yeah. Funny how that
So it's
happens.
really curious to watch that. And people are like, oh my gosh, I got the same one. So they know that I'm connected to them, but I can only do it with their permission from their higher self, is go into their energy. So it's not like I can go into people's energies and change anything without their permission. So yeah, and we do it the same way. And it's usually done in under an hour. We can work on things, and clients that I have over time, we're usually working on other things and then we balance for it at the end. Like if we're working through business strategy or something that's bothering them in their lives, we work through all of that. I've worked through relationships and marriages and transitions, and because it all comes up for entrepreneurs or executives or whoever I'm working with, it's all of this other stuff that's blocking whatever success they want to see in life.
Yeah. It's not separate, right?
No, not at all.
What's
Like
going on
people
for us
think it is.
personally, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But who we are is dovetailed with what we do, how we show up.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're hiding a piece of yourself, it shows up too. So that's, I work with people that want to dovetail all of that really want to find their truth, their vision, and be very pure in who they are, because I think that's where we're going. I think there was decades ago, and where I grew up, we hid pieces of ourselves, but that's not who we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you want to say about Psych-K? So if somebody wanted to work with you, how many visits or how does that work? What's the program like?
So it really depends. I have had one sessions with people, a single session with people. The ones that I usually attract, though, are very highly successful, high performing people that have a block in something. That's usually because I'm usually talking about their business and what else it is in life. There are Psych-K practitioners that do all sorts of different things. I tend to really specialize in entrepreneurship or executives or those high level people that are blocked and they don't know why or what they need to do next. I have worked with people with single sessions if it's something that we can just kind of clear out. But most of the time I find that they tend to come back and then work on the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do that, in any way that feels in alignment with them. Right. So however that works, sometimes I work with someone once a year. Sometimes I've worked with people every week, for a number of months until we got them cleared. They go away for a while. Sometimes they come back. Like it's whatever they feel. I don't put them in some type of package to continue to see me because it has to integrate.
Mm-hmm.
Some people integrate quickly and want to move on. Some people take a while. And then I just got a call from someone who I helped probably like a year and a half ago. And they was like, I've had such success and I've built my prices. I've done all of these things and now I've plateaued again. So I need to come back. And that works fine too. Then come on back. Let's clear that next level because everyone does it at their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's rolling around in my mind right now is what are the things that have gotten you to where you are now?
Oh, that's a I
Big
hope we have a
question,
long
but
time. Yeah.
yeah, a bit about your history and
Yeah.
who is Camille?
So many things, right? My most important mission is I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 3 kids. And as I was growing my career and everything, it was always, how do I do this with kids? How do I do this with kids? So I have jumped around a lot in my careers. I've owned a real estate investment firm. I've owned an LBP. I've been a CEO of a very large nonprofit. I've kind of been all over the place. But what finally got me here is a culmination of all of those things, because at the root of it, I love to help people. I love to teach. I love to train. I love to do all of those things. And there's always been this common thread of teaching through all of it, everything that I do. And I should say my first degree was in counseling psychology, right? So the world of counseling psychology didn't really work for me, but I've taken that piece of me that wanted to always help and just kind of put it in where my strengths are, right? So I have an incredible ability to see strategy and to see people's, gifts and say, this is how we can get them out there. I always have. I've always seen the strength in people and what makes them tick. And being authentic is kind of the way I've always walked to a different drumbeat. So that tends to be who I connect back with. And now I use that in my marketing. Like I work with very logically minded people that walk to a different drumbeat.
Yeah.
And that people are like, oh, doctors, lawyers, CPAs, those are mostly my clients, CEOs of C-suite level executives that are just like, how do I get into that mindset? How do I become like you? And it's really just allowing, right? So as I've grown and as I've gotten older, right, every decade is a new experience for all of us, right? And I think I've more went inside and become who I was always meant to be, right? And I've played small a lot of my life. And I think I just came to a place, especially in my 50s, I came to a place of, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna bring my gifts out there. And I do redefine all the time. I built my community for 2 years and now I'm coming back to a lot of my one-on-one work because I missed it. Right. And I tweak things along the way, but that's also part of being an entrepreneur, is being able to tweak along the way. I have vast experiences in a lot of industries now. And I couldn't have had that or be who I am if I didn't do all of those things. Right. I've managed major sales teams of 75 people. I've been a trainer. I've been a corporate executive. I've been a CEO. I've owned my own businesses. Now I have a membership that I've had for 9 years now. And my newest thing is I just took on a professorship at a local university teaching global business strategy because I wanted to really work with the younger generation in this paradigm shift that I believe is happening in the world, where being authentic is a part of business and the relationships you build. So one thing that has been important to me in this journey is, as I'm teaching the new generation, is I want to be on campus teaching. I don't mind doing online if I'm doing them all the time, but I know that a lot of courses have gone to you never meet your instructor. And I'm like, that's not teaching to me. That's not teaching at all. That's grading a bunch of papers. That's not teaching. That is not inspiring others to be different. And I really feel like that's why I was put here, to inspire others the best way I can.
Well, I would like to attest to that and
Aw.
tell my viewers and listeners that when I first met you, Camille, I don't know, it was over 5 years ago now, at a networking gathering that you had for Natural Life Business Partnership. The minute I walked in the room and you started talking and introducing yourself, in my heart, I was like, I totally believe this woman.
Aw.
I believe her. She's going to do what she says she's going to do. And I want to jump in and I want to be a part of that. So it's been a great joy, really, to be a part of this community. And also, that word community and that ability that you have to grow and to inspire people to want to connect with each other and, be better at what they do and really step authentically into who they are. You've shown me that so many times over the last 5 years that I'm so happy to share you.
Aw, thank you.
So that being said, how would people contact you? How do they find you?
The easiest way is really through my website, which is called soulprofessional.com. There's always a contact form there if you want to reach with me. LinkedIn, I'm Camille L. Miller. The L is very important because there is a Canadian singer with the same name. So LinkedIn is a big one. I'm on there all the time. Yeah, so people can get to know who I am and my work. And if they're an entrepreneur, I say come into the community, and learn more about everyone else that's there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat
You
with
are welcome.
me. And yeah, there's more to come.
Yeah, thank you. I so appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you as well.